In the last video, we modeled the first three roof types that we have. So as shown here in level 1, we did shed, gable, and hip. In this video, we'll take a look at gable with dormer and maybe even move on to some of the ones here in the second row. But gable with dormer will be our focus starting off. So I'm going to go ahead and select the roof by footprint. We do want to move this to level 2. And then I'm going to use the rectangle tool once more. Make sure the offset is set to a 1 foot offset. And I'm going to have defined slope check for right now. But I'm going to go ahead and create a gable style roof, because this is gable with dormer. And I want to go ahead and uncheck, let me grab a crossing here. Uncheck define slope. And I'm going to go ahead and hit the green check mark here. Move to my 3D view. So this is going to look very similar to, I'm going to leave this at a 912 slope just for the sake of having that there. And I'm going to go ahead and connect these walls, attach top to base, to this roof. Now to create a dormer, essentially we're going to create like another, gable style roof, but we need walls in order to kind of make that happen. So I'm going to go ahead and move to level 2, so then that way I can kind of see the edges of these particular walls and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the wall command. Just utilizing, I'm going to use an interior 4.5 inch partition. This is going to be the same for any wall type. So, as long as we go through and we utilize that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the rectangle tool. And when I'm on the edge of the wall like this, so I might go through and kind of place a wall, kind of some of these walls like so. Okay. And maybe, again, I'm just kind of eyeballing here. Just give it a small amount there. I'm going to go ahead and delete this north wall. When I go to my 3D view, you're going to see here's the walls kind of going on. Now, what I'm going to also do is if you kind of rotate underneath of this, you're going to see the walls kind of stick down below through the roof like that. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select these 3 walls. I can select one, press the tab key, and select it. I'm going to say attach top to base. But from here, I want to say attach wall top. I actually want to say attach wall base. And then I'm going to select the roof, which doesn't look like anything happens. But here's what does happen as you rotate these underneath here to kind of look. So now you're going to see the walls are going to form to the top of the roof as the base of the wall is going to be there. Okay, so now let's go ahead and go into level 2. So now we got our 3 walls. I'm going to go ahead and choose roof by footprint, and I'm going to choose the pick walls option. It's going to be a 1 foot overhang. Define slope is checked, so I'm going to choose these 2 outer walls, making sure that those lines go to the outside. We really don't need a 912 slope on this one. Let's go to about a 412, and then I'm going to go ahead and uncheck define slope, and I'm going to pick this last wall. Now if you try to hit the green check mark, it's going to say, hey, you need to have these set up in closed loop. So I'm going to go ahead and select continue. I'm going to grab my line tool, and I'm just going to go ahead and click and connect them. So that way it creates the final thing. Only 2 of these are going to have a green check mark. When I select the green check mark, it may say, do you want to attach the walls? I'm going to say no, because I want to do this manually. So I'm going to go ahead and click the home view. And what's going to happen here is here's your roof, because it's set at level 2. We're going to need to bump this offset. So I'm going to go up here to the properties palette. Let's do about a 4 foot offset and click apply. And even then, let's see here. Let's look what 5 does. 5 may be a little too tall, because the peak of this, I really don't want this sticking up over the top. So let's go ahead and do 4. Okay. So, and even then, let's do about, let's say 3'9". There we go. So I want the top of that to be, I would like the top of that to be kind of something like this. Now obviously, with your dormer and everything, you probably want a little bit more going on. So I want to go ahead and select these walls and attach top to base, select the roof. That will stop those. If you want to see more of this, we can always probably pull these walls out just a little bit more. So here's our wall. Let's go ahead and drag this down just a little bit. Okay, Now what you'll see is you may get close to like a wall, and even as you get to the outside edge, there we go. So that looks a little bit better. So as you kind of move that out just a little bit. Now the one thing that I'm going to show you is that we want to make sure this roof connects to this portion. So I'm going to go ahead and select the roof. In geometry, we have the join unjoin roof option. So I'm going to go ahead and click. Now down here the tooltip is going to tell you, or on your status bar, it's going to say select the edge of the end of the roof you want to join or unjoin. So I'm actually going to click on this angled line. That's the back edge of the dormer roof. And then I want to choose it to connect to the face on this roof. So you're going to see the outline being blue. So when I click, there's where the roof is going to connect and meet until it finally goes through and connects up top. So that's why I was kind of wanting to watch where the roof was going to connect and make sure it wasn't going to overshoot the top of the peak for the gable roof. So, all right, so that's a little bit of a complicated one. Obviously, hopefully the dormer's a little bit taller and a little bit bigger than that, but that's kind of the general process of how to do a gable with dormer roof style in Revit. Check out the next video and we'll look at the second row of roof styles here and be able to go through and show off some new techniques.